Yo, what is up, you guys? So I want to do a quick short video on 2 reasons why you're not making your putts. So reason number 1 is your setup. When you set up, no matter what kind of putt you're doing, you want the basket to be in between your hips. So let's say you're doing backhand, right? You want your dominant foot forward, pointed right at the basket, and you want your hips, you want the basket to be right in between your hips. So if I drew a line right down the middle of my body, then it would line up right with the basket. Okay, so that's pretty simple, right? So when you start setting up right, you're going to start throwing it straight at the basket. Now here's the second part. You're not following through enough. So let's say I'm going to do a backhand putt, right? See, if you just throw it like this, if you're throwing it light, you're not following through enough, you're most likely going to throw it straight and then fall out left, or just go left of the basket. If you're a righty throwing a backhand putt, just for example, I'm just referencing the backhand putt because it's easy to demonstrate with this. So let's say I'm throwing a backhand putt and it just comes up short or hits the cage and goes left, it falls on the ground left. See, what I'm not doing is I'm not falling all the way through. You want to actually throw it into the basket. And this is where a lot of people fall short, because when you're putting, as long as you're lined up right and you throw it, if you follow through, like, you shouldn't be thinking, hey, it's going to go past the basket, because you're totally lined up with the basket. If you follow through, your arm essentially is going to go straight, right? Wherever you're lined up. So backhand putt, as long as you're lined up towards the basket, your arm is going to release straight at the basket. You're going to release the disc straight at the basket. So unless water is right behind the basket, then you really shouldn't be that cautious about your putt, because more likely than not, if you're lined up right and you actually follow through, it'll probably go in. Now, really the only issue you have left is throwing high or low, and that can be fixed by fixing your form a little bit. Everyone putts a little bit differently, so I can't speak for everyone, and I also want to do some putting tutorials in the future, but I just want to share these 2 quick things that basically help with all putts, especially in the open. I mean, situational putts, if you're like behind a bush, that's a lot different. You're not gonna, line up with the basket, because you probably can't. But yeah, the 2 things are setting up right. The basket needs to be in between your hips. It doesn't matter if your foot is facing it. If you're turned this way, you're gonna miss left every single time. You're not gonna be thrown straight into the basket. And the second thing is following through. You need to actually throw it into the basket. You need to be trying to reach the chains every single time. So I hope these 2 short tips helped you guys. I'm gonna come up with something better next week, I promise. I'm probably gonna start doing some putting tutorials. It's just way too cold outside, and I thought these 2 quick things would help. Also, if you haven't already, go check out my putting challenge videos. It shows me putting. It's pretty cool. Alright, see you guys.